The number one issue that people say, the number one issue that people repeat over and over and over again regarding veterans is veteran suicide rate. I disagree. That's not the number one issue. That's the number 20 issue. That's the number 20 issue because you've had number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 issues before a veteran will typically get to that point. The number one issue, in my opinion, that veterans truly face is identity. Think about that for a moment. Think about that. You've spent possibly 4 years, maybe 8 years. Maybe you only spent 3 years because you got forced out of the military. In a life that was different than what you were used to when you went in, right? Nobody is prepared to what life is going to be in the service. It doesn't matter what your cousin told you or your best friend's brother who went to boot camp and then got forced out told you. It doesn't matter what they told you it's going to be like. There's no way to experience it unless you experience it. There's no way to truly live it unless you've lived it. So you can't prepare for it, right? You just can't. That's why in the Marine Corps, at least, they put you through what they call Hell Week, because it's supposed to prepare you. Actually, it's not called Hell Week. Excuse me. That's the Navy SEALs. What do they call the first week of Marine Corps boot camp? Joe, can you help me out on this one? God, I'm blanking. I know they call the Friday before you pick up Black Friday, but pickup week, I think. Well, anyway, there's a week of indoctrinating you into the indoctrination. Think about that. They know it's going to be such a shock to your system that they have to put you through a boot camp for boot camp. You have to be indoctrinated before they put you through in the indoctrination. And when people think of the word indoctrination, they think of something bad, but it's not. Think about it. You're being indoctrinated into something. You are learning the intricacies of something. You're learning the specifics of something to where you can be completely involved and understanding of all of the intricacies of it. So you go into the military. And then you spend your 4 years, your 5 years, your 6 years, whatever it is, developing an identity, suffering together with other people. Maybe suffering on your own because you feel like you are misunderstood in some places of the military. And that happens. 100% that happens. But at the end of the day, when you get out, you are completely leaving the life that you've been living, the person that you've become for the past 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Truly think about that. If they took you at 18 years old and they put you in England, you would have a hard time acclimating to England. Customs and courtesies are different. The way of life is different. The way they speak is different. The way they do things is different. You would stand out. You would lack identity. You would feel out of place. The same thing happens when you get out of the military. You lose your identity. That's the number one veteran issue, in my opinion. You lack identity. You have no idea who you are because you've lost everything that you've worked to build up for the past 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And then the number two thing that happens, because you lack identity, you end up feeling a lack of purpose. Because you lack identity, you don't belong to something greater than yourself. You're not working towards something. You're not sure who you are. You're getting by. You get angry at society because they don't treat veterans a certain way. And therefore, you start to lack purpose. You can't make sense of what is your new mission in life. What is the next thing that I'm going to work on to making sure that I have a new purpose in life? That's issue number two. And all of this culminates with you feeling lost, with you not being able to truly acclimate into the new society that you're now a part of. You have to understand, you are now coming into a world that you have to acclimate to. It's not just about getting by. It's not just about finding other veterans who are like you so you feel normal, right? The military is a part of your life and it's a chapter of your life, but it can't be the only chapter of your life. It can't be the overwhelming chapter that you base everything off of. You have to be able to do well in society. You have to be able to fit in, because when you fit in, you can stand out eventually for the right reasons, because you want to, right? When you lack purpose because you lack identity, you end up feeling lost. When you feel lost, what's more than likely to happen is that you're going to further lose yourself by alienating yourself from the people around you, because you feel like they don't understand you. They say something that you take personally. They do something that you feel isn't right because you feel like the military taught you a certain way to be, and now you have this judgmental aura around you. When you do that, you alienate yourself. When you alienate yourself, you start to develop other issues. You start to lose normalcy in the world that you're trying to make normal for you. You have to understand you're coming into a world where they have a head start on you. They've been doing this for longer than you have. They know what it's like to be able to fit in and not to fit in. You don't. But what you lack in time and experience, you make up for in skills. When you were in, you learned what it meant to be disciplined, to be on time, to be creative, to solve the problem, to be a leader as a freaking 21-year-old, leading a freaking fire team. I was 22 and I was leading the sniper team. 22. If I look at a 22-year-old right now, I feel like he is young and inexperienced. So because you've been put in these leadership roles, because you have experience in some areas of your life, bring that with you. Use it. That can catapult you past everybody else that has been doing this longer than you have. Right? But what you don't bring with you is the baggage, the judgmental side that you have, the feeling that you're always the first one that has to volunteer for everything, and therefore you end up resenting everybody because nobody volunteers for anything if you already did it. Not only do you resent them, they resent you. The truth about being a veteran is that veteran suicide is the final culmination of all of our issues. And I'm working on lowering that number. I want to fucking get it to 0 because I want to help teach veterans that they're more than just a veteran. They're more than their service. They have more to accomplish. The military is one chapter of an amazing book that they're writing, and they have many more chapters to write. It's like that high school football player that leaves high school, where he was the best player. He was the quarterback. He had all the babes. And then he goes into the world and college, and he comes to find out that he's not the best player on the team anymore. Maybe all the pretty girls don't like him anymore because all he talks about is his past. He goes back and visits the home team and his home school that he was a part of. But you know what? He's just hanging around now. He's just this ghost of the past. And people like that live in the past because they're trying to live their glory days. You have to remember, you have more glory days left ahead of you to write. Truly. The number one issue with veterans is not taking the time to find out who they are, and taking everything personally, and feeling like they deserve more than they actually do, and feeling like they're special. You're not special. You've come into a world that if you use the tools that you have, the things that you've learned the correct way, you are going to catapult past everybody else. But if you become an asshole and you keep looking for echo chambers and trying to find other veterans to validate your anger, and trying to find other veterans to resound this anger that you have towards society, and always complaining and bitching and moaning and using dark humor to get by, that's where you're going to stay stuck. That's your lot in life. That's as far as you will get. And it will just be this never-ending cycle of you trying to become better, getting a job interview, and then you get drunk and you fuck it up, and then you blame other people for your decisions. You have to get out of that cycle. And it starts by you understanding that the positive things from the military can help you in life, but you got to let go of the negative shit. And it's not about fighting your demons. Fighting your demons means you not dealing with your emotions. Fighting your demons is you suppressing the stuff that's coming up for you. And if it's coming up for you, it's coming up for a reason. And when it comes up, you have to deal with your emotions. You have to work through them. You have to let them out. You have to cry it out. You have to talk about them. You have to go to therapy. You have to do a walk. You have to journal. They have to come out of you. Because we all know that when they come out of us, they don't just come back in magically. Because we're letting it go. Little by little, we're healing. You going to the gym and throwing on the headphones and fighting your demons is you ignoring your problems. Is you doing battle with yourself. It's not going to get you anywhere. You need to stop fighting your demons and you need to start dealing with your insecurities, with your feelings, with your emotions. Doing the work. It's not easy, but I promise you, it's worth it. You have no idea the trajectory of your life that you can change from point A to point B if you make different decisions. It's all about the decisions that you make in the moment. It's all about you understanding that you are worth more than that one more beer. You're worth more than snoozing that alarm for another hour. You're worth more than you deciding to talk shit about some civilian because they are not as fit as you. You're alienating yourself. And therefore you feel like people alienate you and they look at you differently. I have news for you. They don't. They don't. People don't care about you. And I truly, truly mean that with love. People don't look at you. They're not judging you. They're not thinking about you. They're not wondering if you know what you're doing or not. Like, you're living life. They're living life. Everybody's trying to understand life. Nobody has the fucking plans. Nobody does. We're trying to do the best we can. And you can do better if you take the tools that you've learned in the military, the tools we teach you here, and you actually start applying them. Because if not, 1 month from now, you're going to have that slip up and you're going to have to start recreating it all over again. When you make different decisions and you build the new habits, cement them by understanding why they're important to you. Understand why you take the cold shower in the morning. Because it wakes you up, because you feel amazing, because you start your day the right way, because you do it once, and then if you don't do it again, you know that you're missing out on something. Understand why you go to the gym and lift the weights. It's not about getting muscles right there and then. It's about understanding that that builds a work ethic. It builds confidence. Understanding that that will change your life in the long run. Patience. Patience is a freaking virtue. It's a skill. It's understanding that you just have to find something to keep you busy until you get the results that you want. And even after you get those results, you have to keep building patience to get to the next level. Meal prep takes patience. It's like being in the gym. Making the decision to go to bed when you're supposed to and turning your phone off and putting on Do Not Disturb. It takes discipline. And what have we said? Discipline comes from devotion. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to continue to over-deliver. And then when I over-deliver, guess what I'm going to do? Guess. I'm going to over-deliver again. I'm going to continue to share as much as I can. Receiving week. Yes. No, the Crucible is at the end, Sam. Yeah, Crucible is the last event. Which I may talk about later on. The Crucible is a culmination of a lot of things that you've been building up to, right? The Crucible was something else. Receiving week. That's what it's called. I remember now, because you're being received, yeah. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. It's not check-in weekend. That doesn't mean take your foot off the gas pedal. That just means take this time and use it wisely. Plan your week. Do your meal prep. It's Friday. Don't wait until Saturday or Sunday to be like, oh, I got to do all these things. Like, think about the plan. Plan to plan. If you plan to plan, once you're planning, you have the time, the tools, the availability, the resources. You don't have to put everything together. Put it in your calendar. Matter of fact, put it on your calendar, take a screenshot of it, and post it in the group. You guys take it personally when you guys make a post and you don't have 15 or 20 or 30 comments. I want to tell you guys, you can still see the number of people that see your post. And just because not everybody has the bravery or the courage to reply back because maybe they don't know what to say. Maybe it's not about you, but it's about them. But you inspire a lot of people. Be brave enough to keep posting and posting and posting. Listen, I posted videos for a year. I posted videos. It's been over a year now. And I'm not going to slow down. I have a video on Instagram right now that only got 100 views. It feels like nothing. That's 100 people. That's 100 people that took the time to watch a video that I made in the group. Maybe you feel like people don't take the time to comment. That's okay. People still see your post and they took the time to read it. And maybe they didn't comment, and that's okay. Don't make it about you. Your responsibility is to be brave enough and courageous enough to just put it out there. And it's also for you. When you put it on paper, when you put it on pen, when you put it in a format and a text and you see it and you live by it, you promise it, you commit to it, it cements it that much more in your brain. If you've been thinking about, like, I really want to do cold showers, put it in a post. Say, I'm going to do cold showers every single day this week. And guess what? If you don't do it, that's fine, but at least you tried. Right? It's about intent. I love you guys. I'm out. I will see you guys this weekend. I'll be around if you guys need anything, okay? Talk to you guys later. Bye. Thank you for being here.